Hey, good evening, chat. Um, Welcome back to OneShot. You might be wondering, why isn't the game up yet, you know? Um, Given that the game has done some well, not messy, funky stuff, as far as like opening and closing the game goes, I decided I would start off here, just in case it did anything funny when upon booting this game back up, you know? I mean, it gave me a whole ass message about, hey, be careful, you're closing the game, it's got consequences, ooh. So, I have a feeling they're gonna do something when I boot this game back up. Kinda like how Undertale did with, uh when you were doing the spoiler fight against the spoiler boss and the spoiler boss kicked you out and you open it back up, that sort of thing. So, just in case. Oh, okay. We're back up here. Also, let's just make sure everything's adjusted properly. We need to open the other thing too. Okay, we'll just open it and leave it on the side. Like last time. That should do for now. Alrighty. Picking up where we left off. Coro? Coro, can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, phew. What happened? Everything went pitch black for a second. Oh. Ah, alright. So they just threw in a little cute line about, like, everything just, like... Cause the game closed, so everything went black, that sort of thing, you know? Looks like he's fine, though. Guess we can keep going. In the base game, this will kill Nico. What? Huh. So when they say one shot, you mean you literally have to complete the game in one sitting, huh? Wait. How does that... I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to work. Why would Nico die if you close the game? It's less hostile now? Yeah. Well, no, wait, I don't really get it though. Why would closing the game kill Nico? As far as the game mechanics work, because the sun would break. Why would the sun break though? All that happened, like, we closed the game. I'm trying to figure out how the meta narrative is supposed to work there. You know, like this makes more sense to me. Like we closed the game, they temporarily went pitch black. We exist outside the game for a while. The game doesn't exist for a while, and then it gets brought back. It gets brought back into existence when we log back in. So, is the sun dependent on? I don't know. I mean, I guess I sort of get it, but it's a bit of a stretch, right? It's so dark, not even the sun helped it. It wasn't really a good reason for Nico to die, so they changed it. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, cause like this, whatever they just did, this works better, I think. Cause it's less like, God has left the chat for a little bit and then God came back. Right? I don't really see how everyone dies once I stop paying attention to the game really makes sense, Although I guess it's more like it makes sense with the name. Like, it makes sense with the name more than it does the actual meta-narrative mechanics of it, I guess. So this is the thing that you were talking about then? Like, this is the way that Nico could die? If you close the game in the original version? So, other than that, he can't die. Huh, alright. Okay, picking up where we left off. Found a pen, sort of. Good, please write your name here. Good luck. On we go. Does that mean we're actually done with this zone altogether? He spoke without capitalizing every word. Is that significant? Interesting. Ooh, glitchy squares again. What in the world? It was just funny. I guess we can't go back anymore, huh? Only way is forward. Only way is forward. Whoa, that's pretty. By the way, is the audio alright? Just checking. It was a little late to ask, but like, is the audio okay? Oh good? Alright, cool. Dang, we're in the metropolis area. This looks like what I imagined my setting to look like. Almost. Ah, the sun. Hello, Messiah. Welcome to the refuge. You understand what you must do here? I'm supposed to go inside the tower, right? I already see the tower, so I guess we must be close. Where's the entrance? On the surface. The surface? Look down, small one. Ooh, we're pretty high up. I guess I gotta get down a lot of stairs. I'll find an elevator. Correct. However, the tower is a sacred place. Finding the entrance may be easy, but that alone will not be enough. What do you mean? Once you reach the surface, I recommend visiting the library for leads. Alright, thank you. Off you go then, I wish you luck. Savior is off limits. Only the bearer of the sacred kernel is permitted access to the garden. This one? Oh, like a kernel of corn? I have this. It was left behind by the plant lady in the glen. That is indeed the kernel. Then it is your duty to regrow her. Do you understand what you must do? Not really. Take the seed to the garden, plant it in the pond in the center. We now pass through here to access the garden. The seed in the planter. There's no dirt in this pot. Does the seed really grow like this? What was the second step again? Water? Do we need to... Wow, I've already forgotten. My bad. Mr. Robot. What was I supposed to do again? Give me directions. Nope, I cannot ask the robot again. The robot will not tell me. The robot only tells me to go to the library. The robot does not tell me what to do with the seed. Unfortunate. Nope, that's all I got. Maybe I need to take the seed back. I have a feeling I don't have the items required yet. There's no dirt in this pot. Would a seed really grow like this? Oh. Let's just keep going and then eventually we'll come back, I guess. It's a very pretty city though, right? I mean, it's simple, but it's pretty. Come on! Come on! Work already. Huh? What was that? Why isn't this working? I think someone might need help. Come on. Come on. Too busy for this. Excuse me. Whoa. You. Ah, jeez, I didn't think I was gonna run into. This is embarrassing. Is there anything I can help you with? Yes, please. I would like to know how to get to the surface. Yeah, I was afraid you were gonna say that. Right now, this elevator is the only way to access the surface, but yeah, just take a look at it. It looks like an elevator. Well, you're not wrong, but go look at the button panel. Huh, there aren't any buttons. Yep, that's a problem. There's usually a big button here that says ground on it. You know, because it takes you to the ground area. And now it's been ripped out or something? I tried looking everywhere for it, to no avail. Maybe it exploded. You think we'll have to make a new one? What? How? We'll figure it out. Let's fix the elevator. No pressure, kid. I'll just stick with my original plan for now. Time to kick the door again. My foot hurts. Yeah, you keep working on that. Ah. Squares again. Huh, it's literally like missing towels. Right? It's almost like these are missing towels. Ah, yeah, it's pretty bad down here. Almost like these, yeah, it's almost like these towels just didn't render properly. An empty coffee tin. Coffee machine. It's nearly full. Milk and sugar. I like both, but not in coffee. Oh, hi there. Hello. How come there aren't any people here? Normally cafes have tons of people. Yeah, it's a really slow day. You think it's because the ground access elevator is broken? So I've been told. The city's infrastructure has been suffering a lot lately. Skywalks and stairs breaking off left and right. Now the only reliable way of transport are those elevators. Until now, anyway. You know, the tall guy came in here earlier saying the same thing. He asked me if I've seen a button that says ground on it. He looked pretty stressed, so I wanted to cheer him up. I told him the only ground I've seen today is coffee grounds. He didn't get it. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I will just continue to vibe. I will continue to vibe to the game. Because the game is a vibe right now. It's very vibey. I'll be sure to let you know if anything spooky happens and I go, ah! Or something. I guess I don't feel this with coffee. Wait, am I supposed to literally take the can that says grounds on it and stick it inside the dump? Because it has the word ground on it? That would be pretty funny. Let's keep looking first though. Oh, it's a long observation hall. Are these apartments? Okay, there's a lot of these. We'll check them one at a time. Check down this way first. Door is locked from the inside. Are you an intruder? Because if you are, I, Model 8XM Home Security Bot, will have to report you. Oh, sorry. I kinda just walked in because the door was unlocked. You want me to leave? Scanning for suspicious activity. Suspicious activity detected. 0. Oh, I guess as long as I don't do anything bad. Well, there is a computer here. I think we all know what this means again. It's off. Okay, never mind. Coro, someone lives here. We can't just sleep in their bed. I know, I know. We're just making sure, you know? Landscape painting. An abstract painting. One can never be too sure. It's a wall of family photos. Silent staring. Okay. Penguin! Big penguin plush. Hello, penguin.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. It's a pink flower. Very strange. This is now the Yumeniki part of the game. Painting of 4 robots playing cards. A picture of many ones and zeros. Robots live here? My parents are like literally never home, but I don't mind, I'm used to it. Besides, I got model CWT 2nd gen and Unit 4E here to keep me company now. She still talks a little weird sometimes, but that's okay, she's learning. If I work real hard, she might even be tame someday. I keep hearing that word. What, tame? Mm-hmm. Nobody's told me what it means yet. That's just a robot thing. I can't really explain it either. Hello, would you like to play a game? Oh, sure. What game would you like to play? Do you know rock, paper, scissors? Desired difficulty level? Huh? Desired duration of turns? Please set your timer. Never mind. How about hide and seek? Desired difficulty level? Well, maybe not too easy. Initiating ruthless mode. Target locked. You have exactly 14 seconds. Start running. I'm not sure if I want to play anymore. Oh, session. Abort. Are you feeling unwell? No, it's not that. I'll pass. I feel like that line is gonna get played seriously at some point. You know, you have exactly X seconds, start running. And then we'll have to run from a spooky scary monster. Or something. Spooky scary squares, maybe. Could be squares. Alright, computer. It's off. Eventually we will find a computer that's on, and then spooky scary stuff's gonna happen again. Hey, hang on. Was there like a staircase down on this one? There is. Small potted plant. Oh, there's a pair of scissors on the ground on a pile of hair. I don't think anyone's using it anymore, so... In any other game, to find scissors on top of a pile of hair, that's usually a bad sign. Right? The landscape portrait of the Glen. Picture of a ram wearing a little pink bow. I just moved here from the Glen. Things are so different in the city. You've been to the Glen, right? Yeah. Everything's so green back there. I really miss it. My neighbor gave me some plants to cheer me up, but... I should probably get a muzzle for Betsy there. Title is City Life, What to Expect. A Roomba. Not sure what this is. It's like a little car. Oh. Resist urge to ride on it. I wasn't going to, Coro. Not sure what this is. Like a little car. You should ride on it! What? Do it! It's adorable. It's a cat on a Roomba. Oh, that was fun. We ride at dawn. Meow. It's off. Eventually we'll find the one terminal that's on, and then things will get spooky scary again. Oh wow. Coffee machine. It's very warm. Is this the library? Pile of large books. They look like phone books. Pile of large books. Some of the pages are dog-eared. Photograph of a factory. Photograph of some railings. I'll talk to Mr. TV Head in a second. Photograph of some buildings. Photograph of the city skyline. Fridge magnets. Maybe to come in handy. I hope nobody mind us taking them. Alright, Mr. TV head. 12 large books. Hey there. Hello. You the Messiah? Mm-hmm. I like your scarf. Thank you. Mama made it for me. Tell her I like her needlework. I will. When I see her again. Photograph of the tower. The sunlight makes it hard to make out as much in this photo. Photograph of the mines. There are many robots at work in the photo, extracting large deposits of ore. Can't reach that one. Looks like I can unlock this door. Ah. Lets us have access. Just a trash can. So this isn't the library then, I guess. It's just a library. Photograph of a house in the glen, as I was taken when people were still living in the ruins. Photograph of the cafe. This is some dude's large apartment. Oh. Had this been the Steam version, that would have given you an achievo? Ah, alright. A lot of plants in this one. Hello there, Mr. Plunthead. You have a lot of plants. I do, grew all these myself, you see. Feel free to ask me about them. Oh, the Roomba writing. Okay. Oh, you're a gardener, right? Yep. Do you happen to have any dirt? Growing plants, I mean. Yep. Do you need some? Yes. I'm supposed to plant this seed left behind by a plant lady, but the pot in the garden doesn't have any soil. I see. I know who you're talking about, yeah. Here, take this whole bag. Thanks. Most of the plants in our world tend to grow in the glen. Even if it's facing flooding issues, it's still in better condition than the other two areas. The Barrens is, well, the Barrens. And Refuge City has barely enough ground to stand on, let alone grow stuff. On a larger scale than this, I mean. It's a phosphor tree. Oh, like the ones you saw in the glen. I always wondered, where are the leaves? They're not dead, are they? Oh, not at all. But all these trees are composed of a woody tissue. They're closer to grass, anatomy-wise. So the branches are actually leaves. Sorta. What's interesting about these plants is the amount of phosphorus they can generate. Phosphor. That's the glowy stuff, right? Yep. Phosphor can store light energy and slowly emit it over time. Most of the phosphors from this world still contains energy from before the sun went out. Without the sun to recharge them, though... Well, let's talk about something else. Black clovers. Probably the only plant hardy enough to survive naturally outside the glen. Personally, I think they're really boring to look at. One of my customers really loves them, though. I think all the black clovers I'm growing here are for him, actually. Come to think of it, I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder when he's coming to pick these up. Oh. That's the dude in, That's the dude back in the Barrens next to the lookout point, isn't it? The guy that was just sitting surrounded by them, that robot? It's probably him. Huh, really going to object hits. I can't say I see the same appeal, but I can get it. They're a little too weird for me, but in a setting like this, I don't mind. It's wheat. Why is it in a flower pot? Well, doesn't it look nice? I guess. I like to stand in the middle of the wheat field back in my village. It goes on for miles. I wish I could have seen it. In our world, wheat is usually only grown in small isolated plots. Or in a flower pot. This tree has leaves. Ah yes, true foliage is hard to come by nowadays. You hardly ever see trees like these in the wild anymore. And the ones you do see are pretty much all raised artificially by people like me, mostly for nostalgia purposes. We've seen wheat, yeah. It's a pink flower. Oh yeah, watering can. Watering can, it's half full. Cactus, cactus, cactus. Cactus? Be sure not to touch these are the plants that have only recently sprouted. It's not easy for a plant to make it out there these days. We got these growing lamps, but they're a poor substitute for the sun. Okay. We got what we needed. That's the end of the apartment area. Let's go water. Let's go put the soil in. Have we been in these? Yeah, we have. Okay, back up we go. This helps you grow a little seed. The seed's in the soil but it looks a bit dry. Okay, we'll need to get water somewhere. In the meantime though, gotta keep going. Check this side. Oh. I'm a little tired from walking. Is it alright if I take a nap? Yeah, go ahead. Alright. Our friend is napping again. Let's open this back up. The reason why the game closes like this is because of the base game. I mean, I get what you're doing already just because of the meta stuff. Since you know closing the game kills Nico. These beds would be the only way to save. I see. I mean, I get it on the meta narrative sense as well anyway. That, you know, when Nico goes to sleep, the game closes. I think that's alright, like, you know, that makes sense. Okay. Give me a sec, chat. Just gotta set my phone to charge. That's the image in the game coming up? Oh ho. Is that so? Pancake. Pancake. Nom. Did you mean pancake? Is pancake best image in the game? Coro? I had another dream. Mama was there. Did you see her? Yeah. She made me pancakes. I think it was my birthday. Because people always get their favorite food on their birthday. A whole lot of it. Do you have a birthday too? No. Yeah. Oh. And what's your favorite food? Is it pancakes? Wait, do you like pancakes? Yeah, sure. Me too. On my last birthday, I ate 10 of them. I was so full I didn't eat anything else that day. My mama makes the best pancakes. And some of the neighbors make really good noodles. No, one of our neighbors makes a lot of bread. Do you have any neighbors? Yeah. Oh, do they share their food with you? Sometimes, yeah. Ours do too. Our neighbors and my mama take turns making food for the whole village each day. Everyone also takes turns doing chores and watching the little kids. I don't need to be watched anymore though. I'm old enough to help out. I miss everyone. I've been gone for a while now, haven't I? I wonder if they're worried about me. Speaking of helping out, we should probably go now. Chat. It's not gonna be that simple, is it? Nico's probably not gonna be with Go Home, is he? Right? I feel like that's what they're probably setting up towards. I'm gonna make a call. I'm gonna make a call right now and say that Nico's probably not going home. Or at least if he is going home, then something else is gonna have to break. Like, it's gonna be a decision between sending Nico home or completing the mission. They're probably gonna be mutually exclusive. I'm gonna call it now. Yeah, I'm calling it now that completing the mission and sending Nico home is going to be a 50-50. We're gonna have to make a choice. And then it's gonna be really devastating because I've really gotten to know Nico and really attached to him now, so we don't want to see harm come to him. But then, what about the whole world we've just been walking through, you know? What if everyone else is gonna die? Can we really let that happen? So on and so forth. That's my prediction. I think that's where we're going. Or maybe they're just building a whole lot of wholesome energy so that we have a really nice warm feeling at the end of this game when we send them back. You know? Who knows? Either thing's possible. I ain't a prophet. I just have, I'm just making educated guesses here. Little shots in the dark. I'm losing so much time. Probably 21 minutes of work already. I hate this. Ah yes, that's me. Alright, metal can. Scissors? Oh, maybe we can make a button out of this. I can cut out a piece of the can and fold it into a rectangle shape. Just like arts and crafts. I don't think it's supposed to be this simple. How are we gonna connect it to the elevator? Well, let's find out. we took the ground part out of it as well. What several RPG Maker's games does to a man. I don't think I've actually played that many of them, you know? It's probably more, I've played indie games in general, and I have an inkling. I have an inkling of what would be the most emotionally devastating thing to do. Not to say that it won't be emotionally devastating just because I expected it, you know, or if like I guessed correctly. It probably still will be, and I'm probably gonna be a bit of a mess if that happens. But, you know, I'm bracing myself for potential heartbreak. Because I'm on to this kind of thing a little bit. The magnets don't stick to aluminum, but oh, what if I just folded the magnets onto this edge? It's holding together just barely. I hope that's good enough. Magnetized question mark button. Alright, let's try this. Alright, let's hope this works. Button fixed snugly, and I think I hit the machine powering on. Button completely fell apart. Hey, you tried. Oh well. You tried. It's the thought that counts. The item is literally you tried. It was ripped out. How come there are any broken wires inside the empty slot? Well, I'm no engineer, but it's probably some kind of magnetic technology. I know this much. Let's fix the elevator. So I guess this is where I am stuck, and I eventually will have to go and find a computer, and the computer's gonna do a thing. Or we need to find water, I guess. See him around, but he never seems to have time to eat a proper meal. Just kind of rushes in here, drinks a whole pot of coffee, and then rushes back out. He really takes his job to the extreme. I mean, it's an important job, but nothing is worth that amount of stress, I think. What does he do? Maintenance, I believe. Something to do with the lights, but I don't know the details. Maybe we can ask him later. You're still here. Would you, like anything? I can cook something for you if you want. It's alright, thank you. You know, there's another thing about this game that reminds me of... You know, I keep saying that this game reminds me of other games. It's not necessarily that it's similar, it's just that aesthetic-wise, you know. This game feels a lot like Cave Story, right? The portraits are very Cave Story-ish. We're supposed to go. Maybe we go back into one of the apartments and now the computer's booted up. That might be it. It's off. Okay, guess not. Maybe we have to explore a little more. Leads down to the fancy apartment. Maybe we need the watering can from Mr. Gardener. That one's the other end. I think okay, two of them are the apartment, one of them's the toilet. Can I borrow the watering can? Can I borrow this? It's half full. Look at the plant clippings. It's a sink. Look at that seat now. Maybe it's just the amber. Maybe we just need to use this button. I don't know if it's magnetic though, it probably won't stay on. If this isn't it, then I guess we'll try looking around back up upstairs. If it isn't ripped out, how come there are any broken wires? Okay, no, this isn't it. It's not gonna work. Goes over shot, yeah. And combine those. What if I just shove this thing in here? Nope. Can you read this? Can I shove this in here? No. I guess that's a no-go. Hang on. I guess not. Have I been up here? Guess not. Clockhead. Good evening. Well, the time of day doesn't really mean anything now. The sun gone, the night never seems to end. Mystery dungeon! Hehe. Then how can you tell? Time, I mean. I have my ways. Time is precious, please cherish it. No music. Hang on. Let me check down here. A tape dispenser is bolted to the table. A stapler, it's bolted to the table. These are just bolted so people won't steal them. Feel free to use though. I am the power room mechanic. Do you have an issue to report? Yeah, actually. The surface access elevator appears to be broken. There's a button missing and... Can you go take a look? Leaving this room is not in my programming. Ah, never mind. It's a kind of computer terminal. Okay, we're left with the room that has no music. Is there a computer up here? Oh. Big locked gate. Up on the roof. Wow. I've actually never been to a big city before. All these lights, all these people. I guess most of this world's population lives here. Dang, that's pretty. It's very different from my village. The village is very small and surrounded by huge fields. We saw a bit of that in one of my dreams from a while ago. The tallest buildings in our village are only 2 stories tall. What about you, Coro? Where do you live? Big city. City like this? Wow. I can imagine living in a city. Must be exciting. And kinda scary. The view is nice though. Is that one loop? Is this like one circle? It is one circle. Okay. A heavy piece of metal set into the wall. I think it might be a door or some kind of vault. There's a small screen here in the middle. Guess there's nothing to do here. Keep going right here. Aha! Now it is time for the things. You're gonna need this soon. Take this film and expose it to the void. The answer will be reviewed when you bring it back again. The computer printed out a strange transparent sheet. Transparent sheet filled with numbers. What do I do with this? Checking. Did I generate anything else? Not yet. Okay. Wonder if that changed anything. Expose it to the void. Do they mean have this open and then close the game? Does it have something to do with the other thing? Or maybe I just need to go find the squares and like shove it in the squares or something. Oh, the squares. No go. I guess we could go back and keep trying to solve that other puzzle up there. Did I miss anything else back here? I don't want to go back. Honestly, we just need water. Yeah, I got nothing. I think we've explored every other section of this map area already. I don't think it requires closing the game by exposed to the void. They mean like close it, yeah, because if this was the original game, then presumably if you close this on this screen you would still die, I think. Maybe I need to close and reopen this thing. No, that's not it. What do I do here? Guess I can poke around in here a little bit more. Maybe I'm looking too hard. Alright, chat. I'll ask for one small quick bit of advice. Am I supposed to be searching in the game still, or am I supposed to be poking around in my files? Just so we don't completely go off the rails here. At this point, do I search in game or do I search in the files? Should maybe ask the computer for help again. Before that. Okay, I just checked the recycle bin just in case if they meant the void. Yeah, the only document here is still the old one. Alright, we'll check the computer again. So we're still doing something meta-narrative here. I always forget we can talk to the computer again if we need to. Still clueless? Figures. Want another tip? Yeah. There's a void beyond the four walls that bind our worlds to yours. The edges of your viewport where everything is obscured. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Past the film should avoid and back again. Oh. Stretch the window? This window isn't adjustable though. Stretch the viewport. I can't resize this thing. I don't know if that's it. What do you want me to do exactly? Okay, I've got the numbers, yeah. Do I full screen this game? Can I full screen this game? Minimize it? Do I minimize it? Do you need me? Is it closing the game? Is closing the game a debate though? Let's get one more clue, I guess. You are testing my patience. You really want the answer. Chat. How close am I to the answer? Should I figure it out myself or should I just get the... Should I just directly get it? Am I like somewhere on the right track or am I just completely off base here? Because I don't really have any other answers. I don't really have any other ideas here. The right idea of filling up the window. Okay, because the only thing I have left here is closing it. Oh. Off screen. Like off screen, off screen. Okay. Do not close it? Why? What's wrong with closing it? Doesn't that just save the game? Okay. Alright, I was like, I dragged it to the top of the screen to see if I could full screen it, and well, that wasn't fully it. I overlapped it off the edge, so that worked out for us. Alright. Alright. I guess we're good to keep going. Now the question is though, okay, we have this number, what do we do with it? back at the other place. Oh wait, hang on. Probably the place at the gate, right? No, not this one. Is it the gate up here? Okay, I don't use the thing here, but... Alright, just in case I didn't miss anything else up here. This is just one big loop, right? Like, we're going in circle around this building. Yeah, pretty much. Screen is off. Missing anything else back here in this room? Guess not. Alright, I'm not sure where else we haven't explored yet. I'm pretty sure we've taken every route here. Check the apartments again, maybe? Got nothing. This is the other end of the fancy apartment. Can I not borrow your watering can? A weird film can't be combined with anything. Just in case. Anything else we can pick up in here? Nope. I'll admit I'm a little lost right now. Okay, we've checked everything on that path. We've checked everything on this path, and we've checked everything on that path too. We've got the light bulb, the amber, the strange gem, the feather, you tried, and the weird film. We've got a set of numbers, but nowhere to put them in. Keep looking. Back to the garden, maybe? I don't know. I haven't found any way that I can input a number yet. We've only got the thing back up here. Yeah, okay. So it's not up here. We overlooked something somewhere. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm already pretty sure I've checked everywhere. So having a direction would be nice. Like I've been in here already. I can't take this thing because it's stuck to the table. That thing is shiny, sure, but I don't know. Try using this on this. This on this? No. This on this? No. Oh, we can hold it together with tape. Oh. Oh. That was all we needed. I didn't realize the you tried was still a usable item. I thought that was just a joke item. Like, I thought that was a complete dead end and we had to find a new set of items. Okay. I guess we can finally go down now. Let's hope this works. Wait, this means... This means we could have gone down here without actually triggering that particular computer, huh? Reactivating elevator services. Please input security code to continue. Oh, there we go. That's never happened before. The squares? Huh? You saw them, right? They were on the door and... Oh nah, the square stuff happens all the time. I meant the whole security code thing. And then again, the elevator hasn't been this broken before. I guess we should go look for a code, Coro. I do got one though. What? It works. I don't know what you did, but it actually works. Good job, kid. You're a genius, you know that? Well, I had help from Coro too. Oh, right. The whole Messiah business. Anyway, ready to go? I'll be up ahead. Oh, thank you for holding the elevator door open for me, mister. No prob, hop in. I was gonna start humming elevator music, but they put their own one on. Awkward. Sure is taking a while. Oh goodness gracious, I'm stuck with the elevator of the Messiah and also literally called himself. This is awkward. Well, maybe we can chat to pass the time then. You heard me? I mean, sure. Alright, Coro, should I... Resume awkward silence. Ask about his job. So, what do you do at your job? You seem really busy. I fix lights mostly. And now I also deliver and refill high-energy phosphor to structures that need them. High energy? You know, the super concentrated glowy stuff they had to process in factories. It's what powers most of the city stuff. Ooh. We used to have a small array of delivery robots doing that, but lately a bunch of them have been breaking down. So until they fix them, I'll just have more work on my plate. I haven't slept in so long. When will the robots get fixed? I have no idea, it's all up to the scientists over at the labs. But they seem really concerned about something else lately. Oh? Never a good sign when even the smart folk are worried. The city is very big. It's smaller than it looks. Getting pretty crowded too. Plus there was the refugees from the Barrens and now more Glen folks are moving in too. Oh? It's just safer here, you know? I mean, it's not a haven by any means. It's square stuff we just saw? We get more of that here than anywhere else, apparently. I noticed. But lucky it only seems to affect the city's infrastructure. The landmass itself is still holding up. Which is good, since there isn't much solid land here in the first place. Alright. Library. Can you tell me about the library? I'm supposed to go there. Oh yeah, that's one of my main delivery spots. Those reading lights are pretty high maintenance. But I always feel out of place surrounded by smart people. Well, I guess you're pretty smart yourself, so you'll fit in fine. You and Coro. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Nico. Right, see you around, kid. Gotta run now. He seems in a hurry. I guess we should hurry too, Coro. People are counting on us. Let's go find that library. Let's do that. Beep boop. Beep boop. You alright? Ah, the Messiah. Perhaps this is a sign. Tell me, do you think you can fix the world with the sun? Honestly, I don't know. I've been getting mixed messages. I know. But what do you think? I think I should listen to Coro. After all, Coro helped me get this far. I will take your faith for an answer then. What do you mean by that? It means whatever you think it means. He believes in us. Sometimes that's all we need. A back alley. Hello? Coro, did you see what happened? Yeah? My vision went blank for a second, and then I saw something? Like a really short dream. I wonder what that was about. Nobody knows. There's writing on... Oh, it could just be... lines or stuff. It's a faded flyer. It's a faded flyer. A curious marking on the wall. It looks like a ram. Mysterious things are afoot. It's strangely warm in this room. Oh, cats. Actual cats. Because Nico is not a cat. Oh, a cat. Are you lost? Me? Do you wish to join us? Join your cats? Yes. But I'm not a cat. I don't walk on four legs like they do. You have cat eyes. My eyes are normal people eyes. No, normal back home. Your head is shaped like a cat. But I'm just a person. You are still welcome here. I protect lost people as well. Thanks, but I'm not lost though. I've got Coro to guide me. I see. It's warm here. Yeah. This was my original purpose. Watching cats. Warmth. Ooh. It's a nice purpose. Ah. Oh, you look tired. Do you wish to rest? I can't sleep now. Coro and I've got stuff to do. I see. So, where do you find all your cats? They found me on their own. So I stay here now. Ah. Well, it's good that you're not alone, at least. I met some robots in the other area stationed all by themselves. I felt kinda bad. With robots, it is alright. We are not like people. We are typically unable to feel loneliness. Right. Well, you talk less like a robot than most other robots I've met. Maybe. Not many people frequent this part of the alley, but there are a few. One of them even lives here. I see. You have been here for a while. Are you sure you do not wish to stay? I'm good. Thanks for offering, though. I think that's the last line. Yeah. Lantern plant. There's a note attached. Please, thank you for working so hard, Mr. Lamplighter. There's some big plastic discs here. Looks like they're supposed to go in something. Hey, Coro, are we gonna take these with us? It looks so heavy. Alright. Hey, they're actually pretty light. Convex lens, thin lens, thick lens. Yeah, we'll probably have to slot that back in the machine up top, right? Let's take a look. The title says Understanding Robots. Please do not approach. Oh, the poor robot. Oh, that's not ominous at all. Whoa! Coro, did you see that fox just now? Just ran behind the tree. I'm sorry if you're looking for me, but I cannot talk to you. Not now. But can you promise me something? Huh? If you can find a way to return these two. What do you mean by that? No reply. There's no one here. Huh. What's up with that? Hey kid, want some soup dumplings? They're guaranteed to contain only a minimal amount of industrial byproducts. I'll pass. Smells kinda nice. What is it? Breaded fish. I toasted the bread myself. I see. Are you here for your photos? No? Alrighty then. I'll just, stand here. The stand smells a bit like burnt sugar. Yep, still getting the hang of making these fried candy skewers. They don't taste too bad though. Do you want one? It's okay, thank you. Hey, ready for me to blow your mind? Yes? Okay, so, I've invented a medicine to prevent everyone from the upcoming water shortage. All you gotta do is dissolve one of these pills in water. And then you drink the water. And then you never need to drink water again. What? It also makes plants grow faster. How does it work? Here, why don't you take a free sample? Oh, thanks. Don't thank me, go spread the word. Actually, I exaggerated. The effects of the pill wears off in like a week. All you have to do is just take another pill. Water pill that goes in water. Do we put that in the pot? Is that really going to work? I don't know how I feel about putting dubious water in there. There's something in the water. Oh no, that's just the water effect. I have gone pretty far and weird all over the place now. I have no idea where we are anymore. Oh. There's probably another exit on the other side of the city then, huh? Okay, let's go in the... Big flashing X. Alright, confused. But we proceed. Looks like I can unlock this door. The other side. Yeah, it looks like the other side. Hello, person. The library's up ahead. Thanks. Oh, somehow wandered over here. And the world ends. Would it be better if it was gone in an instant or slowly fading away? To be honest, I'd rather the former. I mean, to get to the library, we had to go such a roundabout path. Huh. Okay, nothing else here. In we go. What? What? I didn't say anything. Well, stop staring at me then. I was just looking at your book. Yes, you are in the library. There's books in the library. Go back to chatty one upstairs. The author's books cover a wide range of topics. It seems there are no subjects he does not write about. Quite a Renaissance man, don't you think? I guess so. But he's been focusing on documenting the world as of late. Oh? They say the city is the last bastion of civilization, so these books may be the only thing we have to remember the rest of the world by. Ah. Books are neatly placed on the shelf. I don't know how neat they are, but... Oh hello, do you need directions? Let's see. This area here is mostly historical accounts. The reference section is downstairs, and I'm not sure where the children's section is. Sorry. It's okay, I'm not really looking for books. Oh, are you here to look for the author then? No? Oh, that's good. Or I mean, that means you won't be disappointed. I've been volunteering here for months and I've never seen him, not even once. He works together with the head librarian on publishing, so you'd think he would at least show up once in a while. But he doesn't. Yeah, he seems kinda reclusive. Which is weird for a guy who supposedly travels the world. Maybe it's just around people. I mean, I don't think many people have ever seen him in person, or know what he looks like. Everyone's heard of him through second-hand accounts though. Oh, but he did reply to my letter that one time. I got it framed immediately. Nice. Hopefully one day he'll show up. Chat, I'm gonna make a wild guess that the author is the guy communicating to us through the computer. That's my off-the-wall bonkers theory. I mean, he never appears. He has a name like the author. It's probably bullshitting and I'm just reading too much into it, but that's my wild guess. Photo some people. I'm sort of clock. Yep, still scared of ladders. Is Nico gonna fall down a ladder at some point? Computer is currently off. Or either that or Nico's gonna have to climb a really tall ladder at one point. The author is so cool. I heard he can travel over the world with a flying machine. That's how he gets his material for his books. Wow. What are you doing to that book? Don't worry, these are my own books that I wrote. I just put them off the shelves to modify them. I have to cross out some sections. Most sections. Eh? How come? Because otherwise they think I copied him. Him? The author. I mean, I really don't see the point of writing anything anymore. The author's just gonna write about the same thing and then everyone will love it. And nobody's gonna remember the books that came before his. Oh, I mean, I ain't hating. I can see why people go nuts over his stuff. The guy's got major talent. But it just hurts, you know? It's never fun when people call you a copycat for something you wrote about first. I can see that. People call me a cat all the time. Even though I'm a person, and cats are pets. And mousers. I sure hope people don't think I eat mice. Eh, then I guess we're in the same boat, kiddo. You telling me Nico doesn't eat mice? See, that's the difference. Nico is a furry. Nico is an uwu furry. He's not a cat, he is a furry. All those latest books are really something, yeah? The head librarian just released a bunch last week. Oh, the big compendiums, you'll see them if you look around. Kinda different from his earlier works though. I'm used to reading his travelogues and novels mostly. So what do you think about the author? I don't know. Maybe have you read his stuff yet? If not, you should. The author publishes his books at a highly accelerated, almost inhuman pace. In fact, he has put out more books in 1 year than most authors do in a lifetime. According to the head librarian, there is a still large amount of material he has written but not yet published. One cannot help but to wonder where he can get so much done in so little time. I did the calculations and the numbers simply do not add up. Maybe he can stop time? No such mechanism exists in this world. Is that actually possible in your home dimension? Nah, I just saw it in a movie once. About superheroes and stuff. Going through these pages pretty fast. Actually, it's mostly pictures. Oh. Yeah, the author doesn't only write books, he also illustrates them. Sometimes he makes books out of only pictures. Neat. Yeah. The author being clearly supernatural, I wonder. Maybe that's probably why... Maybe he's the voice in the computer. Excuse me? Oh, you are the Messiah. Welcome. When I first entered the city, a big robot told me to look for a library on the surface. This is the same library, right? Affirmative. Oh, goody. Well, we're here. What do we do now? The big robot only said to be clues here. That is a question for the head librarian, George. Allow me to call her. Awkward. She's not picking up. Is she not here? She is here. She is in the archival room upstairs. When she is concentrating on her work, she will ignore any and all phone calls for several days. Yikes. Can you go get her in person then? Leaving this post is not in my programming. Then can I go myself? Of course. The archival room is accessible through the stairwell behind me. Gotcha, thanks. Coffee machine, it's almost empty. Coffee's for grown-ups. Unauthorized entry. Library card required for further access. Wait, what? Library card required for further access. I don't have a library card though. Where can I get one? This is a question for the head librarian, George. Allow me to call her. Not again. Oh no, help. So how's your day, chat? Y'all doing alright? Are y'all vibing? You having a good time? She's not picking up. I figured. Are you sure you can't just let me through? Letting you through without a library card is against my programming. But even in an emergency, my programming is not flexible. I have not been tamed. I'm on my third cup. I can't feel my limbs. But I have to stay awake. I need to find out how this book ends. Curse the author and his beautiful cliffhangers. I have heard that exact line directed to me at least once in my life, which is weird that it happened, but it did anyway. I guess I go back outside to find a library card. I don't think we'll just find a library card lying around in here, right? Can I borrow your library card? 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 Guess not. We'll start reading stuff first. A big book with a black clover on the cover. The title says A Comprehensive Guide to Phosphorus. Background lore. About this book. Guess that's all the info we have for now. Nobody wants to lend me their library card. I guess we go back outside the library to find somebody who has a card. Evening news, evening news. Are you here to purchase a copy? No? Newspapers are for grown-ups. Grown-ups? Yeah. What does that mean? It means people who aren't kids. Kids? Aren't you a kid? I'm a robot. Right. Okay, so this is where we came from. I think the city just loops around. No, that's the elevator. Alright, I guess we go back up and try the water pill on the pot. You know, why am I taking the elevator? I can just... Use the fast travel. Never mind, I guess we get to see this at least once. Huh. Doesn't have much to say, does he? Season is soy, but it looks a bit dry. Nope, that's not what we have to do. It's not the thing that's for. Okay. I guess we keep exploring back down in the city. That's the city gate? Oh, we can't go back down unless we actually use the elevator. Oh. Okay, fair enough. I guess those two are separate areas. That's the way to the library. It went in here, and this loops around to the other side. And this loops around to the other side, and then the exit on this side. Where do I come out from here? Down here. On the other side of the, this is the market area. Vendor Street. And this leads me... where? A different set of buildings. Oh, this is the science block. Luminescence index of the liquid red frost was decreased by a factor of 3.57 this past week. Allow me to say the least, that's the sharpest decline I've seen and the number is only increasing. I have to further concentrate the phosphor now for it to be of any use. It's hard to believe, but there's a good chance the city could run out of light in as little as 6 months. What are we going to do? If the city runs out of light, well, I don't want to think about what happens then. Just a bunch of people at the end of the world, huh? In order to gain further access to the labs, you must pass the security system test. Huh? You must change the color of the lights into a specific configuration. Allow me. Okay, that's a puzzle that we're definitely probably going to be given the answer to. Let me help you to go one color at a time. You can also help to write down previous attempts. Oh, this helps me with a puzzle reset. We'll get an easier one next time. Huh? Oh, did I use up a try? Okay, let's mess with this first thing. Four possible colors. Oh, this is a color wordle thing. Okay, hang on. Started on all yellow and one of them is correct. Let's isolate it first then. None of the others are blue. So that's correct. The yellow is the correct one. Let's try changing some of the others. Nope. There's two greens in here somewhere. Let's try this. There's two greens somewhere in here. Zero light's correct. Alright, the two greens are in the wrong place. And the yellow is here. The greens are in here. Three lights correct. Red and red. Five lights correct. Hey, there we go. We're smart. Yeah, smart. We figured it out. Hooray. This area has very Omori deep area vibes now. Hey robot, what happened? I don't know, I left for a minute and... What am I gonna do? Please do not approach. Another layer of buildings. Monitoring. Sure, a lot of computers here, and they look important too. The square particles just took two of my robots in the glen. We might have to put off the water analysis project for now. I'm picking up some more disruptions in Sector 8 of the city. This is consistent with earlier findings, not good at all. The Baron's engineer just reported another sighting of the particles in the cliff area. Well, nothing unusual at this point. I wonder what the author would do in this situation. Dr. Silverpoint usually references his works. None of us have been sleeping very well in light of recent events. Square particles took out a few of my robots last week, and he fell asleep. I can barely keep my eyes open, man. How does Dr. Silverpoint get all that energy? Are you Dr. Silverpoint? These robots are malfunctioning at a frightening rate. Physical damage from square particle anomalies is almost impossible to revert. No living person can touch them unless they have a death wish. But if we're lucky, something squares go away on their own. Not before taking away one of the robot's arms or legs. Or head. Okay. I cannot stop spinning. I don't know if you've ever seen a headless robot before, but it's quite a sight to behold. And also quite dangerous. This is so tedious. I miss the good old days before robot repairing robots broke down. Now all the robots have to be assembled by actual people. But aren't you a robot? No? I mean, do I sound like a robot to you? Not really. But your head is a TV. But what does that have to do with anything? Never mind. We should probably fix the robot repairing robots first. But the higher-ups need these guys done first for some reason. Alright, further back. Hello? Oh, shoot. If I had known you'd be here so soon, I would have turned off the darned lock. Hello there. Sorry about the weird security measures. It's okay. Coro helped me solve it. Did they now? So, can I help you with anything? Yeah. Do you know how I can get a library card? A library card? You have to ask the library for that. I tried. I needed to see the head librarian, but I can't get to see her without a library card. But at the same time, she's the only one who gives out library cards. Really? That sounds like George, alright. I'm sorry you caught her on a bad day. Oh. Wait, I know. I can just give you my library card. It won't be hard for me to get another one. Wow, thanks. There, you're all set, I think. Wait. Shoot. I forgot, the front desk library bots have facial recognition. My photo on the card won't match you. Unless I tape a photo of my face to your face. That was a joke. Who knows, maybe you'll get lucky and the robot will take it anyway. Worst comes to worst, you can always find some way to take a photo. Something's poking up from that shelf. It's a tube of glitter glue. You can have that if you want. Never know when you need to glitter things up, right? Oh, are you sure? Yeah, I have tons of these. Thank you. So, you've been walking all over the world, huh? Mm-hmm. Jeez, I can't imagine. Do you get really tired sometimes? Kinda. But I don't mind, it's actually really pretty. Haha, I'm glad you think so. Even if the sun gone, the world is still a beautiful place. What did the world look like with the sun? Oh, you know, it's kind of embarrassing to admit how little of it I've actually seen. Oh? Ironic, isn't it? Even though I'm the world's leading researcher, all I do is stay here and build robots. They're the ones exploring the world. I just write down the data, crunch numbers, generate graphs. Right, I've been seeing robots everywhere. I just thought it was cause the world was too dangerous for most people to explore. That's not far from the truth, actually. But I know someone who still does his research firsthand. Oh? Even after segments of land started collapsing and access to the more remote areas became difficult. I mean, he outright built a machine that could fly. Something we all thought was not physically possible. Oh, that's... I asked him about working with us, so he provides us with all sorts of insights from time to time. For some reason, he really didn't want to build robots. Or more specifically, coding them. How come? Beats me. I mean, he's happy to work with robots. In fact, he even... it's been a while since we last talked. He must be busy with his books now, yeah. Don't overwork yourself, okay? Your journey is just as important as your end goal. Cliché, but true. Alright, back to the library then. Hey, Coro? Doesn't the lady look kind of familiar to you? I wonder if she's related to the robot lady who gave me the amber. I almost want to ask her about it. Should I? Oh? That's... How did you get this? This robot lady in the Barrens gave it to me. She looked kinda like you. I see. It was supposed to be such a breakthrough, you know? I even based her on myself so I'll know it works. Breakthrough? We wanted to build a robot that acts like a person, thinks like a person. A robot that isn't bound by its own code. Oh. It turns out you can't really build something like that. Too many contradictions in the code made her unstable. That was the only time I've ever seen a robot go rogue. Scariest day of my life, tell you what. Rogue? But she seems so nice when we talk. Even if she talked a little weird. She's been repaired for some time now. My friend was able to stabilize a volatile state through his own means. A real miracle worker, that. After he was true, she ended up turning out just like how I wanted. But the damage was already done. I gave up on her back then, we all did. I'm sure she realized that, and now she won't ever come back. She won't even answer my letters. I'm sorry. Sorry for rambling. You should hold on to that amber, okay? I will. Do you have anything to say about this? Guess not. Now this is Ace Attorney. We're gonna show everybody everything. No additional dialogue. Alright, never mind. On we go then. Are we able to fast travel here? Nope. How about here? Alright. I think I know where we can go to get a picture taken. There was that photo booth back there. Wrong street. Vendor Street. Are you here for your photos? Actually, yeah. I need to take a picture for reasons. Well, I got good news and bad news. The good news is that the photo center is right behind me. The bad news is that it doesn't work, right? You're catching on quick. After operations ended in the Barrens, this place got shut down. All of the engineers lost their jobs and became street vendors. Maybe Coro and I can figure it out from them. It's good. It would certainly help out people with expired IDs, like me. slot here. Looks like paper or something might come out from it. It didn't do anything. Probably put the lens in somewhere, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Does the order matter? Guess that was the right combination. Did we just trial and error it? We'll start with the thin, I guess. Concave. Convex. Thick. There's only a couple combinations you can do. Right? We could probably trial and error it, but this will be quite a few combinations. Do we need all 4 in? Wow, I got lucky. Dang, that was fast. Alright. Cheese? Ouch, my eyes. Photo of me. Are my eyes always this big? Not a cat. We can get more photos. It's not a photo of me. Good thinking, Coro. It's a good idea to have a backup. Oh, cool. I guess we can get a couple. It's not a photo of me. Three's enough, right? Third time's the charm? Let's go outside and let her know first so that we don't use all the paper. Coro and I fixed the camera. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's all you gotta say? Alright, so I hope you don't mind if I take a couple. Right? We've got this opportunity. Maybe we should get another. How many can we get? I'm gonna run this machine out of paper. This is kind of fun. Oh, okay. Nico's getting into it. We're gonna put these photos all over Twitter. You're gonna be a star. This one turned out pretty good. Looking good. These are all they all look the same. Do we need all of these? I'm guessing this is just for fun. It's a photo of me. Oh no, I blinked in this one. Ultimately, how many can we get, I wonder? Well, we can see all the dialogue. Another photo of me. Nice. Nice. We're having a lot of fun now, aren't we? Cheese? Ouch, my eyes. Oh, these are turning out pretty good. Very photogenic. I guess Nico will get tired of this eventually. But we'll let him have his fun. You can get as many as he wants. How many of these do we need, Coro? How many do we have now? We've got 9. Alright. It's a photo of me. And the camera is autofilm now. Can't have too much of a good thing. The ultimate photo. It's autofilm. I'm sorry, I used up all your film. Okay, so I guess we should stick a photo on top of this, huh? We can't combine those? Okay, never mind. Alright, to the library. Not that way. The head librarian, George, is in the archive room upstairs. Authenticated barcode, executing facial recognition. Photo match failed. It seems to not resemble the owner of the card. You cannot use this card. Bummer. What if I combine these? No? Glitter glue. Photo? The back of the photo is covered in glue and glitter. Photo of Nico, sticky. The card has my face on it now. You know, wait, what if he used the photo where he blinked? Oh well. Here, take a look at this photo of me. You're good to go. Have a nice day, Miss Kip. Maybe I should have changed the name. Oh well, in we go. We're gonna leave a photo of Nico in the bottom right first. It's full. Looks like an old phone. Excuse me. Hey! Who the heck do you think you are, barging in like that? I don't care if you're the Messiah, manners is still a thing. Sorry? Well, are you just here to apologize? Yes? I mean, no. I mean, I need your help. I'm not sure what I need to do next. I think I need to go in the tower? Seriously? You haven't figured that one out yet? I don't know how to get in. Well, I don't know either. Shouldn't Coro help me with that? All I know is that nobody from this world can get in there. Not beyond that tiny entrance room anyway. If anything, there might be a book on how the Messiah of all people can get in. But I don't got anything like that in my collection. Would like to, though. I see. Well, since you're already here, it'd be rude for me to tell you to leave. Do you, got any questions about books? Or can you read something here? I don't care. Just don't make a mess. Alright, we'll start reading some books. Are they all about clovers? What? Of course not! That's just how the author marks his work. Oh? Because he has to keep up with his mysterious persona, I guess. He's not even told me his name. Wait, so he wrote all of these books? Yes, he did. Wait, hang on. What do you make of this thing? Oh, I have this book. I think it's written in some sort of words I don't recognize. Oh, let me see. Oh, of course. Of course! More work for George, fine. Hey, kid. Nico. Because I'm gonna have to translate this for you. Might take a while. Alright. Excuse me. I know that for you, kid. I haven't had a good night's sleep in weeks. That's not good. You know what? I have a guest room in the attic down the hall. Go take a nap. Just looking at you getting tired is making me tired. We'll do that. Here's a fun fact. She's a dice, no? Every playthrough she can be one of 4 personality types. Ah. Interesting. So I got the Shirley one. That's a fun fact. The book is poking off on the shelf. Wait, hang on. Every playthrough? Don't you only get one? Well, I mean, probably... They're probably doing registry tricks like Undertale, so... Theoretically, you only get one, but if you really reset everything, you get another playthrough, right? But you only get one playthrough, right? book's actually about clovers. The first life forms to colonize this world. Taming was the lost cause. Interesting. Every as in like different people's playthroughs. Oh, okay. That's fair. Book on the ground. Should like it the probability of rolling of dice. Recently I found that theory easier and easier to believe. I could not describe it well back then. There are 6. Which one did you encounter? Ah. Fascinating. I'm a little tired from walking. Is it alright if I take a nap? Go ahead. Alright, you know the drill. Very pretty picture again. Let me take the chance to hydrate. Oh. A nightmare, huh? Hey, Coro? I guess you saw my dream. Yeah. It was... Come on, let's go. Yeah, I have a huge feeling we're gonna have to pick between sending Nico home or saving this world. That's pretty big foreshadowing there, isn't it? We're gonna have to pick between the two, won't we? There, finally. The translation is done. Oh, that was faster than I thought. Oh yeah? You've been asleep for hours. Oh. Anyway, it looks like this journal was meant for Coro. Oh? Here, read it yourself. Greetings, Coro. If you finally read this, that means you are near the tower. The tower is the domain of an elusive entity. This being is connected to the world. For now, you can think of it as a spirit of the world. It has no physical form, but it can communicate through computers and other machinery. You know who I am talking about, of course. When you first arrived here with our savior, no doubt contacted you right away. Through its own means, the entity will guide the both of you to the tower. The entry room is at the tower space. Not only do you need the sun there, but also 3 pieces of the previous sun. The savior will not be able to do anything there. You, Coro, on the other hand, look at the pattern on the floor, do as it says. The window will be gone, so you need to bring it back. That's all there is. Someone tore out all the other pages. Did you do this? No! And you're on your own, kid. I'm not sure what window means here. Maybe Coro will have to figure that one out. I think they mean the window on the other side. Right. By the way, what does it mean by 3 pieces of the previous sun? I only have this sun. Do I have to explain everything? It's just a fancy word for objects containing yellow phosphor. You know, stuff that glows yellow. Oh, I do have pieces of amber and a feather. They fit the description, right? Yeah, but you only have 2 of them. And they're super rare, so it's not like you're gonna just kind of find something like that lying on the ground. Right. Okay. Here, you can have this. Ooh. And the 3 pieces. Oh, it looks kind of like you. What? Never seen dice before? No. I mean, yes. I mean, it's just... Never mind. So, yeah. Need anything else? I'm good, thank you. Off you go then. Don't screw this up, okay? I guess we're all set then. We're gonna go to the tower. Hey Caro, do you remember where the cafe is? Yeah. Oh good. I'm asking because, well, I'm a little hungry. Actually, I'm really hungry. Haven't eaten anything since I got here. So is it okay if we get some food before we enter the tower? I hope they have pancakes. They are not going to have pancakes. They are not going to have pancakes. I'm calling it now. This elevator goes back up to the catwalks. We need to press the button if we want to go back up. Or maybe he will get pancakes and he'll have his like little moment of wholesomeness and then they break our heart. Here we are. Oh hey, you're back. Did you manage to fix the elevator? Coro and I went to the surface already, and... Well, I remember there being a cafe here. Do you have pancakes? We sure do. Wait, I don't have any money. Maybe I can help you wash dishes or something? No, it's on the house. Least I can do for the savior, right? Here, why don't you take a seat? I'll go fry up some for you. Pancakes. Okay, no, we're getting our pancakes. We're getting our pancakes and it's gonna be a really sad scene. These pancakes are so good. Thank you so much. No problem. You look really hungry. Yeah, I thought this would be my last chance to eat something before I go in the tower. Ah, gotcha. So, I guess pancakes are your favorite food? Well, almost. My favorite food in the world are the special pancakes that my mama makes. She likes to pick hazelnuts and grind them up into the batter. Oh wow, that sounds amazing. They taste amazing. She always made them when I was feeling sad, or lonely, or... Mama, I really miss her. I just have a bad feeling all of a sudden. Am I even here to save the world? People have been saying how the sun won't fix anything. I don't even know why I'm here. I just want to see my mama again. Oh, there. It's gonna be okay. And I'm sure you'll be able to save the world. You're a tough kid. You managed to get this far already, right? Yeah, but... And you'll get to go home afterwards, right? Right. Hey, want some more pancakes? It's okay. I'll be fine. Yeah. They're piling it on, right? They're really making you feel for him. Yeah, poor Nico. Poor Nico. We're gonna have to make a decision at some point. I am 99% sure at this point. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening. And for the pancakes. No problem. Good luck. Alright. I think I know where the tower is. It's this one, right? Right here? No? Not yet? You know, we left some stuff undone too, right? We haven't actually put water in the... that one thing. We haven't put water in the pot. Okay, so that's not the way to the tower. It's definitely not the water... It's definitely not the water pill. Like, I have a water pill here. It doesn't do anything. I've already... There's a watering can over there. In that person's... In that one person's, house. But I can't take it. I would just want to... I would like to borrow it and bring it up, but... I don't think I can. Is it necessary to progress? I would assume so. Everything so far has been kind of necessary to progress as far as like puzzles go, right? Like things that actually are just presented to the player. We'll try Plant Guy one more time. Nope. Unless you want us to drop this in here. That's not it. Chat, I found water. I just don't know if that's the right water. Whatever. Do we need to do that before we can move on to the tower? And actually, where is the tower anyway? The water you need is in the surface. Okay. So it's not like here in the toilets or anything. Oh, up and down movement now, huh? That big gate back there, is that the entrance to the tower? Or, like, is the tower somewhere else? I mean, the clover symbol's over there, so that's definitely the window I'll need to pay attention to. Water... Vendor Street, maybe? Is it you? It is not you. Wait, no, the entrance to the tower is this thing down here, isn't it? It's the little gate there in the middle. Alright. I guess we figure out the water puzzle first. Do we just throw this thing into the water at the bottom, like the red phosphor? Or am I missing something? Unless it's somewhere in here. Nope. Chat. Do I need to do this water? Do I need to do this water thing? Because I'm kind of curious if I just want to keep moving on. I am a little more invested in going into the tower now. You don't have to? Okay, so it's a side thing then. It's not necessary. I mean, I still feel bad if I don't do it, but... honestly, wandering around the map right now trying to look for a water item is a little tricky. It is your duty, though. Yeah, it is. I don't know where to find water, though. Maybe it's back up here. No water here. The fridge? Oh. Can I take a bottled water? Chat, I found 2 different places with water and I can't take them. There's bottled water in this fridge. And then there's a watering can upstairs. They're being very specific. The aquarium? What aquarium? I don't remember seeing an aquarium. There's somewhere we haven't seen yet? Huh. This one's a little less this one's a little less intuitive because there are places where you can get water and it's just that's not the right answer. That's not the water you're looking for. So it's a wee bit annoying. What's the aquarium? Is it this thing down here? Wait, hang on. Is this the tower? Just checking. Like, is there a point of no return? If I yeah, definitely. Is this a tower? If I go in here, is it a point of no return? Just want to check. The tower is past the point of no return. So what is this thing then? So this isn't the tower then. We're still like on the way trying to find the tower. Where is the place? What am I missing? This is the lab, right? Is it the lab? So I don't want to spend too long wandering around. I do want to try and finish this tonight. You know, and I'm invested now, you know? I'm invested in seeing how this thing ends, so... I do wanna do this, but... I kinda need directions. It would be nice if I had directions, because I have no idea... Actually, I don't even know where I'm supposed to go to get to the tower. Let alone this aquarium. Unless I missed something in the back alley. The place of the X is the tower? Okay. Okay, so that is the tower. Got it. So we just have to find an aquarium first. Wherever it is. Go to the vendor street. Okay, it's on vendor street. Got it. Is it one of the buildings? Okay. I guess it has to be, because I think this is the last place where we haven't actually fully explored yet. That's the camera place. Open? No. Open? No. That goes to the tower. That goes across to the other side. It's in the lab? Oh. Okay, so it's somewhere in the lab. Talk to one of the robots. Ah, okay. It's a little hidden then. Alright, appreciate the help. This is... I wouldn't normally ask, but this is just in the interest of time, you know? Because if I was playing normally, yeah, I kinda would have just blown this off to go on now, because I'm in that mode... I'm in that mood right now where when I'm heavily invested in the game and I really want to see what comes next, so... You know, it is what it is. I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I'm heavily invested now. It's kind of like the same thing like when I'm playing certain... You know, I'm playing certain open world games and the plot does get exciting enough and I'm like, I'm gonna blow off the side quests now. We frankly don't have to plan maze, but... Yeah, I mean, I do want to plan maze. I just also want to... I also want to finish it today, you know? I want to try and avoid going too late tonight. Is it you? It's not any of you. I don't see any other robots, chat. I think I've talked to every robot in the lab. Taking one more round. Yeah, I think I've talked to everyone already. Unless it's further back here. Nope. Odd. Where's the research station again? Research station? You mean the one back in the... outside of the refuge? This is the research station. We're right here, I think. If it's the lab. Is it this one? Unless this is what you're talking about? Get to the left. We cannot. There is no further left we can go. Yeah, there is no further left we can go. Unless it's further up. Further up and further in. Left. Nope. Am I past that point already? Can I not plant her? Should I just move on then? The water is apparently in the glen, so we missed it already. Ah, okay, so we missed it. We can't do that anymore. Okay. Oh well. It's fine. I'm guessing it's nothing too... So like maybe you get a heartwarming scene, a little extra stuff, right? I'm guessing that's what you get. Probably just a nice wholesome scene. And other than that, nothing too much. Okay. I guess that means we move on to the tower then. Okay. I'm guess this feels like the finale area, right? We'll be on to the finale area now. Wait, what about that big machine up top with the gap? I mean with the plate. Yeah, those are the two unanswered questions, I guess. Okay, window. Do I gotta close and open this? I'm almost certain. Yeah, I'm very certain this is the thing I need open. We just gotta figure out how to get in. I'm guessing we have to do something outside here first. Inside? Nope, okay. Okay, let me start digging around in the files again. Maybe we'll get something. We gotta block the screen off again. That is not it. Don't overthink it. You just have a billion pictures of Nico and a couple of things. Nothing to interact with here. Can't combine these. Can't combine these. Can't combine these. Unless the X button indicates that we close the game with X. The way I'm looking at this... Wait, I left the text here. The way I'm looking at this puzzle, like, what it's telling me is that X means that, like, flashing X means that our configuration is wrong. Like, we needed to do something else outside. Like, put something somewhere outside so that this thing becomes a tick and then we can go in. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, if you guys say it's already inside, then there's a button with an X on your window. To close the game? Close the game, I guess. Hang on. Uh-huh. Then reopen it? Oh, okay. That was it then. Wait, so would doing that at that point in the original kill Nico? Like, was that a bait? No more hints? Alright, fair enough. Nope, it wouldn't have? Okay. That's the only place it would be safe to do so. I see. Is this the inside of the tower? It's a lot darker than I thought. Wait, where's the sun? Coro, do you know what happened to the sun? Coro? Coro? I'm right here. Come on, Coro, say something. Coro! What's going on? No, you're still definitely in there. You've lost your items. Oh. Oh. This is now the Yumeniki portion of this game. Hello, Nico. Hello. Congratulations, you are now inside the tower. Are you talking to me now? Correct. But you were always talking to Coro before. Where's... Coro has already left. I had to resort to contacting you directly. Wait, so Coro is gone just like that? Correct. For good? Correct. Huh? Wait, that doesn't make sense. I'm right here. What are you talking about? Look at me. I'm right here. I'm literally right here. What are you talking about? Coro has already finished their mission. And so have you, Nico. Here, you can rest now. Everything that's happened here is like a bad dream. When you wake up, you will be home. Oh. But what's wrong? I thought there'd be more to it, you know? I thought you were supposed to go to the top of the tower. I thought there was supposed to be somewhere we needed to put the sun in. And now, I don't even have the sun anymore. And Coro is just gone. This feels wrong. But you did good. You saved the world, Nico. Are you not happy? I guess I am, but it's just... Never even got to say goodbye to Coro. And that's... Okay, pop up. And as for you, Coro, we're done here. Please don't return to this road anymore. Close the other window too? Oh, do we need to refresh it? We have an image. Do I gotta reopen it now? Or do I leave it closed until then? That's fine. I'll leave it up here for now. Nico. Hello? Carl? Was that you just now? I thought I heard your voice in my dream. I guess you're still not there. Wait, there's something in my pocket. I don't remember putting it there. Black clover. You're still here. Nico, why are you still here? You. Why did you come back, Coro? I told you to stay away. You knew I tried to cut the story short. Is that it? You want more out of me, is that it? Fine. If you don't want to leave, I'll make sure you never do. And this is now... Yep, this is the Yumeniki portion of the game, I guess. Uh-huh. Wait, hang on. Oh, it's green screen. Haha. Do I... Hang on. I could probably make this a little smoother. Hang on. Filters. Chroma key. There we go. Grow that a little bigger. See, I'm onto this, you know? I have my presentation ready. You guys, as the viewers, are getting the full game experience as far as possible. Back then, I told you about the entity as little as possible. Apologies for that. I did not want to put the librarian in danger. This being has a habit of silencing the people who learn of its true nature. Hang on. Which way do we go? Oh, it's a maze. It's a maze if the right. It's a maze where we need to find the right answer. I see. Okay, so down, up. Right? Nope, that's back where we started. Forward, left, up. Left? Nope, left, up, up. Oh, hang on. Ah. Okay, I see how it is. Alright, chat. Here, let me do this. Gotta shift this in front of it now. Here's what I'm doing. I was probably able to just solve the puzzle by... I could probably solve the puzzle just by trial and erroring and seeing which one advances the text, but I guess this will be faster, and hey, you get to see what I'm doing as well. Let me just align that up. There you go. Regrettably, I have seen it happen to dear friends. You go right here. But do not worry, the entity cannot touch you. Okay, actually, I don't think this is gonna work out too well in terms of like overlaying it, so I'm just gonna leave it back in the corner here, and I'll use it. But I think you guys can roughly see as well which way it's pointing, as far as like the overlay goes. So that'll be fine. Wait, this is the dead end though. Yeah, as long as it's doing what it's supposed to be doing on this end. The entity cannot touch you. So go back the way we came then, I guess. Nor can it do anything to me. We go down. I already left the world on my own terms. So this is the author speaking, I guess. As opposed to the entity. I never meant for the entity to exist. Let a hole into the next door. And now that it is fully sentient, one thing becomes clear. That one. Bottom right. The entity seeks death. Bottom left. Death to itself, death to the world. A restless desire that manifested physically. Second door from the left. You have already seen the scars. Rightmost. Right now, the entity is doing everything it can to impede your progress, stalling for even a few minutes. Second door from the left. Before you inevitably bring the sun to the tower's summit. Just the other door. This is where you, God, will make the final judgment for the world. Bottom right. Of course, the entity will contact you again there. Middle. And when it does, it will trick you into shattering the sun. Second. This will end the world instantly. Yeah. You know, even though it's not showing up on stream, like where these things are hitting exactly, I did show it how it's supposed to work once, at least on stream, so, you know, at least it works here. Triple dots. More dots. This one. No, no, it is not that simple. Second. Oh shit. I went back. I went in the wrong one. Hang on. Yeah. This one is middle. Second. And let's not go into the wrong door this time. Second from the left. I am sorry, I do not know what to do in a situation like this. Middle door. But I think I have to tell you the truth. The sun is the Messiah's tie to this world. Middle column. Wait, hang on. This column? This column. As long as the sun is intact, the Messiah remains trapped here. Ah. There it is. There it is, huh, chat? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. See, I suspected as much. We're gonna have to choose between Nico going home or the world staying, or the world being saved, or potentially being saved, right? This is what we're doing. Okay. 1, 3, the top 2 rows. No, this is right. Wait, chat. I filled in all the squares. Wait, is this puzzle broken? Or is it the other way? Could be the other way, I guess. That's all I got here. Maybe I should stop holding shift down. You sure if you lined it right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Maybe I line it up here. Right? So working by this, unless it's not the reverse, which I doubt it. It is not the reverse. Let me clean this up real quick. Okay, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I filled in one too many squares, that's all. On the top row, that's all. Okay. It took a second. Shattering the sky, the sun may terminate this world, but... it is also the only way for the Messiah to return home. Okay. Heck of a pattern. It's the outer layer. Alright. I'm gonna use my overlay again for this one. Make it easier to check my work. These meta puzzles. Not quite aligned. Whoop, I am shifting stuff around now. Give me a sec. I think we get a rough idea from here, right? Hang on. It's harder to scale here than it looks. You know what? Screw it. Let's just take notes. Bottom, middle, tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Column 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, 7. Use this to check that our work is aligned. Yep, okay. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, two from, and 2 from each at the top. You know what we should do is fill in all of this first, and then decide what we need to erase. This is probably the trickiest one so far. Okay, we need to erase the middle few. This is aligned, yes. Erase one off the top. Am I moving the whole other window into the game? Yes, I am. I'm using it to check my work repeatedly. Yeah. Don't worry about it. One, two, and then all the way up top. 1, 2, 1. This part blew your mind? It's a very creative puzzle, that's for sure. We do need to get to the middle though. Okay. Hang on. Let's do the edges first, right? I think we should do the edges first. The puzzle, this pattern is symmetrical, so if we can work around the middle, that should be fine. I went one too far. We need to get down in the middle and leave a 1 block wide gap on everything. Okay. I could probably work with this. I went too far. Go. 4, 5. And up the up, bonk, 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 bonk. Nope, one too many. Bonk, da da da. Ta 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 ta. I misaligned it a little bit. It's almost there. And then we've got a gap. Yeah. This is a little early. Yeah, hang on. What we need to do is we need to erase this middle section. And further erase some of the bits down here. This row is empty. We need to fill in the corners. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Corners are filled. We need to fill in the left. Left. I think we need to delete the inner squares. Yeah, hang on. Sorry, this one's taking a bit long. Okay. Center part is clean now. Just need to fill this in. And then the 2 corners on the right. Down, up, down. Da, 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 da. Alright. I did not realize things would end up like this. Please forgive me. It's the light bulb. Thank goodness it's safe. I guess Coro isn't coming back. Whoa, I clicked too quickly. I didn't see what I wrote there. Nico, I'm here. That's what I said. Coro? Yeah? Is that really you? I thought you were gone. I never left you. Oh, I was feeling a bit scared back there. I thought I was completely alone. And that was silly of me to assume, wasn't it? Guess we need to figure out where to go now and... The sun! It lit up on its own. Guess I should pick it up, right, Coro? Huh, and the other window's closed now. I don't need that thing anymore, do I? I don't need to open it back up. I don't think it's gonna do anything, right? Put my icon back on. Here we are back at the beginning. There's a lot more to the house now that's open. So you actually made it here. I guess you win, Coro. I'll tell you how to save the world then. When you reach the summit, shatter the light bulb and... The entity's doing stuff. I'm just humoring you. I know you've been getting help from a certain someone. He already told you about the choice, didn't he? Are you still planning to save the world, Coro? Why are you trying so hard for this? Haven't you even figured out what this world is? I told you at the beginning, your mission is to help Nico leave. Because Nico isn't part of this world. Nico is the only thing worth saving here. The final choice is up to you. I can't go against my programming. I have not been tamed. You only have one shot, Coro. If you choose to smash the light bulb, then Nico wakes up back home like it was all a dream. But if you let Nico return the sun, the child will have to bear the weight of this sacrifice. At least tell Nico the truth. You do care about Nico, don't you? Sure is taking a while. I guess this elevator leads to the top of the tower, Coro. Are you excited, Coro? We're finally gonna save the world. And no, it's for real this time, because you're here. And then... I'll get to go home for real this time, too. I can't wait to see everyone again. Are you okay, Coro? You seem a little quiet. He deserves to know the truth, yeah. Like, alright. I only have the one expression, though. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry I'm not really responding to chat too much now. We're in the heavy part of the game, right? Nico. Yeah? I need to tell you something. I'm listening. You can't save both. The world and you. What? What's that supposed to mean, Coro? To send you home? You must break the light bulb. What? But won't that end the world? Yeah. I don't want that to happen. So, what happens when we save the world? What happens to me? I don't know. You don't? I have a feeling I do. I have a feeling I do. You know how when we left the light bulb back with Maze? And the light bulb went out after a while? And only came back on after Nico came back? Here's my theory. Here's my theory. The light bulb only operates if the Messiah is nearby. That's why like they need to be there, right? If they don't, if they're not there, that's why Nico can't go home. If we put the light bulb in, then for it to stay alight, Nico will need to stay by its side until forever. And maybe the reason the previous sun went out is because the previous Messiah died. You know? That's my theory. It does kind of make sense, I think. So ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So this is where the sun belongs. If I put the sun in here, we'll be able to save the world, right? But if I want to go home, I'll have to break it. Oh. Coro? What should I do? What's the right thing to do? Yeah. Well. You know, chat, I was right. I was right about... I was pretty... Turns out I was correct from what I guessed the game was going to make me do. And, I wished you were wrong. I wished I was wrong. You cannot perform this action during cutscenes. Very clever, Keen. Very clever. You know what I have a suspicion about now, though? What if there's a third option? What if there's a third option? I'm going to look. I am to go... No. I'm not looking it up. I'm not looking anything up. I'm going to look in the game folder. I am looking in the game folder. That I will clarify. I am looking in the game folder. Just in case. Just in case anything popped up at this point. Document or OneShot. Nope, that's just the only thing there. The last time they messed with my wallpaper is normal. I don't see anything else that's been generated. If this is the freeware edition, you can close it. Nope, I cannot. You cannot perform this action during cutscenes. I cannot close the game right now. Also, I've closed it once before. I know what happens in the older version. Okay, I don't see anything else new that's been generated, so unless I have to... Unless this, no, this is the updated standalone version. It's just not the old version. They updated the freeware version too, I think. Sorry, not the freeware version. Like, this is the... This is from itch.io. Okay, I don't see anything else. I don't see anything else that has been generated in here, so I guess we really do have to make the choice for now. Alright, I gotta think about this. Save one life or save the lives of many people. Can we gamble on a chance? Can we gamble on a chance for many people to live a little longer? I feel like they're definitely skewing it, right? Let's weigh our options here. The game has been very adamant about this isn't a certain thing. The world's already been kind of in a shitty position before then. And, you know, putting the light bulb in may or may not fix everything, you know, there is a chance. But we're gambling on a chance here. Meanwhile, the other thing we know is that Nico is far from home. And we know that it's certain that if Nico gets home, then he'll be happy. But will he really? He's been thinking about it. Although he will wake up as if though it's all been a dream, right? So he won't even think about like that in that sense. So we have a choice here. Like they've definitely skewed it a lot in both directions, right? There is good arguments to be made both one way and the other way. And I don't think how you choose to respond to this necessarily indicates what type of person you are, you know? There is a good moral argument to be made on both ends. One of them is gambling on a chance, and the other one is yeah, you know, actually that is what it comes down to, right? Do you think this world can be saved in general? Or do you want to run on the actual chance here? You know what, it is a difficult decision. Nico wants them equally too, right? Nico wants both of them equally. I can't defer to him to make the decision, and I too am, you know, I'm not. It's the same both ways, right? So here's what we're gonna do. I can't decide. Nico can't decide. So we're gonna leave it up to fate. Leaving his fate to a coin toss. Either way, he's a... See, Nico also doesn't want either, you know? He wants to go home, but he also wants to save the world. I also want him to go home, but I also want him to save the world. This is me talking it out. This is me talking it out with Nico, in a sense. I'm talking it out with him in my head. And neither of us can decide, right? So we'll let fate decide. Is there a problem with that? This is my decision. You want me to make a decision, right? This is my decision. I simply smile. Eh. I have a feeling, regardless of which option we pick, it's going to be quite something. So here's what we're doing. Heads, we return the sun. Tails, we return home. We're going home. It's too late, chat. Whatever you say. Is that really you want? Chat, give me conflicting signals here. What's a solstice route? Are you spoiling me? Are you spoiling me? Chat, come on. We've made out this. We've left. I'm not taking it back now. Okay. I've already done it. I've left it up to fate, and fate says we're sending him home. I left it up to fate, and fate says we're going home. Aye. Trust your judgment, Coro. Dang, the window. The window just shook there. Coro? What happened? It's very dark in here. Oh! I can see a light at the end of this passage. I think I hear a voice too. Mama? I can hear her calling me. All I need to do is pass through this wall. I'll finally be home again. Ah, Coro, I guess this is goodbye. I'm glad I got to meet you, Coro. Thank you for everything. And he walks out the window. He walks out the window, straight to the bottom. And that's the ending we got. Alright, so there was a third option apparently. But not on the first playthrough, it seems. But that's alright, I think. I'm satisfied with how I ended this here. I think I'm satisfied with how you know, we've come to the end of the game now. The credits are rolling, and I do feel fulfilled, you know? It was a very unique experience. And, yeah. We've gone ahead and sent Nico home. That's the way fate has landed. And all the images of this game are fading. No, it's fine, it's fine. In the end, it came after I made my decision, right? Now I know that there's a third. Now that I know there's another ending. But it's fine. You know what? It's fine. In the end, the decision I made was still my own decision. Fatal error, saver not found, shutting down. And there goes the game. The game is gone. We cannot go back in again. Yeah. It was definitely a unique experience. A very interesting and unique experience. I think I'll be thinking about that one for quite a while. I don't know. Check my documents. Document.OneShot. Nope, there's nothing else in here. Unless you mean the game folder. I don't see anything. I'm guessing that has to do with, you need to check the other one. Maybe you need to pick the other ending? What am I looking for? Is there anything in the game folder? Nothing out of the ordinary. Couple DOL files, the game application, credits, readme. And then the actual RPG Maker folders. Hmm. You know what? It's fine, it's fine. Here's the question I have though. I figure it's pretty I figure, you know, it's pretty obvious that OneShot does OneShot stuff the same way Undertale does it by editing the registry and stuff. So truly speaking, if we really wanted to, we can do another run. Or actually, even if I wanted to, I could just do it simpler. I have multiple computers. I could just do another run on another PC, you know, and see the other ending. But I wonder if that's kind of spoiling the intended experience, you know? I don't know. What do you guys think? This is a very philosophical question, right? Like it's back to the old. Do we see everything that's available in the game, or should we take the game as it is meant to be experienced? You know, should we live with this choice and whatnot? Open the Clover again. Okay. Looks like you completed your mission in the world, and I understand. I know you wish to return, but the entity called itself OneShot for a reason. The restriction was implemented a long time ago. Removing it is impossible now, at least for me. I do not know the full extent of your powers, so pardon me if this sounds foolish, but if you would be so kind to test something out for me. A log of your save progress may exist somewhere in your machine, maybe in the same location as this journal you are reading now. If this save progress takes the form of a file, perhaps it can manipulate it. Try removing it from its current location. A simple deletion will do. Again, I apologize for not knowing the extent of your powers. If what I described confuses you, I am sorry. Nope, nothing's been generated yet. If that was supposed to trigger a file generation, it has not. Unless it's hidden somewhere. Hmm. Oh, okay. Wait, no, I found it. It's in the wallpaper. It's in the wallpaper folder. This is not over. Regardless of what the entity told you, there is more to the story. Document/OneShot. Look for this symbol. Once it is active, please relaunch the game. See you soon. Okay. I don't think I was meant to see that necessarily, but I went into the wallpaper folder and I found it. So is it just the generated notepad file? Let's delete that. We'll start with that. Because there isn't a folder. That wasn't it. F5. What did I remove? The document that generated the save's code for the first area. There is no folder for this. This is what I found in the wall. I found the wallpaper. This is not over, regardless of what the entity told you. There's more to the story. Documents/OneShot. Look for the symbol and the clover symbol. Once it is active, please relaunch the game. Oh wait, hang on. Maybe I'm not deleting something. Maybe I need to move this thing over to the documents folder after I create one. And paste the clover in here. Run it. Leave it active. And then relaunch the game. Nope, that wasn't it either. Yeah, put it back for now. Hmm. Let's see. Hidden folders. Not seeing anything. Alright, you know, I can't stay here too much longer. I figured this is like golden ending path stuff, right? So I tell you what, I could probably look up and find a spoiler-free, if it's possible. I'll look up and find a spoiler-free guide to the documents my games. OneShot. Oh, there it is. Okay. Read me. Save progress OneShot. There it is. Okay. It was under my games. I tried to open the game for a second and it faded away. Alright. I just want to see what's up with this. I won't... If there is a golden ending, we are not gonna go there just yet. Open the clover, leave it running. Relaunch the game. Okay then. Looks like we'll have one more stream to go for. We'll have one more stream that we'll need in order to do this. There's more to this game then. Alright. Got it. Understood. The confusion isn't putting me off. No worries, no worries. I figured as much, right? Like, I think it would have been fine. I wouldn't mind if the game ended like that, you know, with the actual choice. Okay, so the choice didn't matter. We would be able to go on to golden ending regardless, right? But yeah. Okay. We will come back to this another time. That was before the DLC was a thing. So this is the DLC then, huh? So judging by this, I'm guessing this is a golden ending. This is like a golden ending thing. Maybe something where we... yeah. It's the golden ending is the DLC. I see. But yeah. I'm gonna go over here for a sec, so I can wrap things up first before we do another stream. No worries about that, don't worry, don't worry. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about my choice, you know. Do you think I made a cop-out by going for a coin flip? I don't know. I swear I didn't do it just to not make I swear I didn't do it just to not make a decision, you know. That was genuinely what I felt like doing. Like what it really came down to, you know, like and that was really my choice. I'm like, because I really believed, you know, after seeing everything that was presented in the game. I really believe Nico would have regrets either way, you know, like saving the world but being stuck there forever and being separated, that's not gonna make him happy. But just going home and just never being able to... Because he wants to save the people, right? He's met all these people and he wants to save them. So truly, what right do I have to make that decision for him, you know? I think that's where I'm coming from. I think that's ultimately where I ended up coming from. What right do I have to make that decision for him? He does trust me. He does trust me, but what is right for him, you know? I'm not in that position. I am not the person to decide what's best for him, because sending him home may not be the best thing for him. He may have his own conscience to live with, you know? But also, leaving him and separating him from his family forever, that's also may not be the best thing for him, you know? So, I think that's ultimately where I came down from. What right do I have to decide? So, let's let fate decide. That's where I ended up going with. So that was my decision, and I stick by it. And it may be a bit wishy-washy, and I don't know. I guess the point of the game is to see what, like, you know, what kind of person are you? How do you respond to a situation where there is no clear winner? Do you value the person, or do you value the chance for the rest of the world and all that, you know? And maybe I did sidestep that decision, but that's really what I think, I guess, you know. Ultimately I don't have the right to make that decision. So I left it up to fate. And in my head, you know, that whole talk was me talking it out with Nico, I guess, in that sense, you know, like he comes to me for a decision, and I explain my rationale, and yeah, we left it up to that, and we sent him home. And that's what we ended up doing. But it looks like we have another golden ending to get to, so we'll do another stream for that, and yeah, they trust my judgment after all. And my judgment was leave it to fate, you know, because I don't... You are your own person. I am not the arbiter of what is right and wrong for you. I don't really have the right to make that decision for you. And if you can't decide, then I'm not going to, like, I'm not gonna disrespect your wishes, is what I think that's where I felt like, you know, like, you want to do both, and I respect that. So we let fate decide, and that's why I ended up with. I'm repeating myself now. We have a golden ending to get to. I will do another stream another time, and we'll check that out. Won't be tomorrow though. Tomorrow we have other plans already. Monster Hunter. But maybe the day after. We'll see. I'll find a good time. Yeah, it's definitely a game that's got me thinking. Right? Like, I think the way it presents, it has a lot of interesting game ideas, and the way it presents questions to the player is very unique. I wouldn't say, like, never been done before exactly, but it's very, very damn well executed, and I can definitely see why this is recommended as a must play, you know? But yeah, we'll do another session another time, and we'll check out the golden ending. I'll figure out a time to do it. Okay, actually, is anybody else streaming this game right now? Am I the only one? I am the only one. Okay, we'll just raid a friend then. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys around soon. Coro out.